Roman Reigns got into an airport confrontation with another WWE star. We'll also check out what's going on with Trish Stratus, Triple H, and more. Starting things off with another interesting conversation that's floating around right now about a big recurring thing in the WWE product right now, and that's the topic of never-ending feuds. There's such a thing as a slow-burning storyline, but there's a few instances where fans feel like some programs just continue forever with no end in sight. The biggest example of this fans are discussing right now is CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Extremely technically speaking, this program started the first night CM Punk returned to WWE in late 2023. Seth Rollins was yelling and cursing up a storm at CM Punk during that 2023 return night and went viral for it. And technically, that was the start of this story. Then for WrestleMania 40 in 2024, CM Punk vs. Seth Rollins was originally slated for the main event spot of night 1. But Punk's injury happened, plus everything with The Rock, so that just got scrapped. But Punk and Rollins still interacted plenty of times throughout the year, and as soon as Punk was done with Drew McIntyre, the full feud with Seth Rollins officially kicked off in late 2024. That led to their big main event matchup on the Raw Netflix premiere, which many fans wondered if it would be the grand finale to the feud, but it wasn't. Seth Rollins and CM Punk would continue feuding into WrestleMania 41 main events matchup, with Roman Reigns even being thrown into the mix. And that wasn't the finale either. CM Punk ended up feuding some more with Seth Rollins after WrestleMania 41. But then Punk begins feuding with John Cena. You think he's finally getting out of the Seth Rollins vortex. But then Seth Rollins comes out at Night of Champions to purposely screw CM Punk out of the WWE title during that match with John Cena, therefore reigniting their feud with each other again. And everyone appreciates a good long story, but everything gets to the point where you ask yourself, what in the world is it going to take to end this feud once and for all? They had the Raw Netflix premiere main event, they had a WrestleMania main event, they had Saturday night's main event, so when exactly will this feud ever end? So that's a big conversation right now amongst the fans. It seems like a lot of them are a little burnt out on the entire Seth Rollins and CM Punk narrative. It was such a hot story 2 years ago, even earlier this year, but how much longer will it be dragged on for is what fans are talking about in this moment. Although the feud and story is quickly entering the unbearably long state, at least Seth's character is staying true to his word. He said as long as there's breath in his lungs, CM Punk will not hold a WWE title. So far, Seth is not letting that promise go. So it looks like Seth Rollins will always be out there if CM Punk has a big title match. So that's definitely something fans are talking about right now, and it's a heated conversation because you obviously don't want to rush feuds, but you also don't want to endlessly have long feuds either. So if they can find that sweet spot there somewhere in the middle and end feuds at a decent time, it would definitely prevent that fatigue and burnout feeling from the longer feuds like this one. You can sort of make that same argument for Cody Rhodes and John Cena. They've been feuding for pretty much the entire year as well. Hopefully Summerslam is the grand finale for that program too, because if it's not, there's going to be some fatigue there from fans as well. Trish Stratus has returned, and it could set up a lot of interesting dynamics. SmackDown featured a segment between Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill that was meant to heavily tease their upcoming match with each other at SummerSlam. But before the match takes place, Tiffany Stratton says she wants to defend her title at Evolution, which led to Trish Stratus answering that open challenge request from Tiffany Stratton. And it will now be Trish Stratus versus Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's title at Evolution. It's Trish's first opportunity at a world title since way back in 2006, nearly 20 years ago, and it's also expected to at least begin as a friendly bout with one another. Trish and Tiffany teamed up earlier this year and have a lot of mutual respect for each other, so it's looking like this match will begin as babyface versus babyface. Does Trish Stratus have any shot at winning the title from Tiffany and taking it to SummerSlam to defend against Jade Cargill? Fans don't really envision that taking place, so Tiffany retaining seems like the obvious choice. But who's to say that other things don't happen there that really spices things up? Like, could we see Tiffany Stratton play a little dirty in the match against Trish Stratus? If WWE is getting behind Jade Cargill to be their new babyface women's champion, that may be a little difficult to pull off as she's facing another big babyface and Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam. So maybe if Tiffany plays a little dirty versus Trish and enters maybe that gray area being a tweener, maybe that would help get Jade Cargill to be the ultimate babyface in that SummerSlam matchup. Because having that match between Jade and Tiffany as a pure babyface versus pure babyface does seem a bit suspicious. There's gotta be a twist there. A lot of fans think that Jade Cargill plays an amazing heel with her incredible display of power and strength, which is true. Jade Cargill never looks like the underdog in any matchup because she's strong and powerful. So if they even want to eventually take that heel route with Jade, that seems like an exciting path to go in. Another thing to watch out for is obviously Naomi's Money in the Bank contract. But could we expect her to run in sometime during Tiffany versus Trish? That's absolutely possible and expected. Naomi could have another cash-in tease at Evolution. So Trish may not have a shot of actually winning the title, but the match will still be exciting to see, and it'll be interesting to see if Tiffany or Jade's persona will change heading into that major WWE Women's title match at SummerSlam. Former WWE superstar Carl Anderson recently appeared on Stories with Briscoe and Bradshaw, and he opened up about one Roman Reigns story that he was there to witness. Carl Anderson said, "A bunch of talent were once on a flight, and there was a big WWE star that was complaining about the flight. Carl Anderson said that Roman Reigns advised them to get it written and fixed in their contract, or to stop all the complaining. Carl Anderson said that everyone agreed with Roman there during that moment." As far as some of the other big topics involving Roman, reports claim that Roman and his wife just welcomed their 6th child into the family, so everyone is very happy for that wholesome news. As far as Roman's WWE return, news is still pretty bare about that, but all signs point to the return being right around the corner, so hopefully that does end up being the case. A big new program is allegedly about to kick off in WWE, but not for a superstar, for a celebrity guest, and that's Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll has made WWE appearances in the past and has been a lifelong WWE fan. He even said himself in the past that the ultimate goal was to drop some weight and be able to compete in a full WWE match. Well, according to WrestleVotes, a big WWE program will kick off with Jelly Roll on July 12th. He's set to make an appearance on that edition of SmackDown, and judging by these reports, he's going to interact with somebody in a way that kicks off a story and gets Jelly Roll to make even more appearances throughout the summer. There's no exact reports on what this payoff will be for this upcoming Jelly Roll storyline, but a lot of fans are guessing that SummerSlam could be a decent location for the finale for this mini storyline and program for Jelly Roll. So fans of Jelly Roll and celebrity crossovers will certainly love that upcoming story, while fans that aren't the biggest supporters of celebrity storylines will have to pull through it. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.